All right, guys, let's do another one. Let's try out the little feathers that we see on this guy right here. So again, I'm going to look at it and I'm going to see that it needs an overall texture because pretty much everything is going to be a little bit darker than my white paper. So again, I'm going to come in with the side of my pencil and put down some value. I can use my blending stick to smooth that out very lightly. I'm going to take a good look at this guy and I'm going to say I'm going to zoom into this area right here. Now what do I have? I have little tiny lines, it looks like, that overlap in sort of different little directions. So I might just make some little tiny pencil marks, leaving some space open because there are some lighter little areas. And I don't want to really make individual lines. I'm going to kind of go back and forth and be a little bit scribbly with this so it feels more like the actual feather instead of just harsh little lines like this, right? Okay, so there's one layer maybe. Maybe we'll do another one this way. Then we'll do the next layer, kind of goes in a different direction. So I'm keeping it very sketchy and light, just hinting at things. Then the next layer goes in a different direction. And it feels like they get a little bit longer, so we can leave some longer little feathers. But here we go. It's not a photocopy, but we have the same feeling. We've got these little hairs almost that go in overlaying layers, and they kind of have their own little direction. Now on top of this I might take again an eraser and just pop in a few highlights, some areas where it's a little bit lighter, especially over here, maybe in here. And then I might go on top of that and put in some more of these little lines. So there's our close-up feather texture. Okay. Let's see if we can do another one. All right, let's do this. So let's zoom into this area right here, this rock formation. So again, I'm going to go ahead and put in my overall value. Oh, and you know what? I'm going to go ahead and label these feathers, coral, rock formation. I'll just put rocks. All right, let's smooth that out and take a good look at what's going on here. We have kind of a rough, long line kind of overlapping feel with this nice big black section down the middle. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put that in. Let's just think of that as one big shape. Fill that in. And then coming off of that, we can do these other sort of mountainous feeling lines. But again, remember, I'm not just going like this on top. Okay? I'm adding value to them, I'm blending them out. So again, I am faking it. I'm not making it exactly the same, but it definitely feels like what it's supposed to feel like. You always want to hit it with a little bit of the blending stick to kind of smush those values in, get you a nice little gradient. So I'm doing in here. Now, is there anywhere where I feel I need a little highlight? Maybe right along this ridge. Maybe along another little ridge. Here. And then again, I can come in with the blending stick to put some of that back if I took out too much. Rocks, done. All right. Show Should we do one more? Let's do the fur on the this little guy. I like this guy. Okay, so I'm going to zoom into a little area right here. Most of this is darker than my white paper, so I will start with my value level. Just using the side of my pencil. I'm going to blend that in. Then I'm going to look at this really closely. I'm going to see that the fur is kind of going towards the right. It's darker in some areas, medium, and then lighter. And what it looks like is just long lines that overlap. So, making nice sketchy lines, long lines. I'm going to just kind of put some of these in first, nice and open. And then I'm going to come back and put in my darker areas. So really be sure of where you're trying to focus your eyes. What section are you redoing? So I'm going to do here, then around the eye a little bit, it gets darker. So you'll notice that I'm filling in, even when I fill in my values, I'm going in the same direction as the fur. You don't want to fight with the direction. Keep it going the same direction. And get your nice long lines in there. Fox fur. Okay, then I'm going to use my blending stick. I'm going to use more of the point because I really just want to emphasize these long lines. And then on top of that, I might want to put some more darker lines. Get a little contrast. Now, you'll notice that I didn't fill this in like this. Just a lot of lines, right? Because we don't really see that much detail. We're not seeing each individual little hair of the fur, right? It's an illusion. It's just kind of filled in. So we want that same feeling. We don't want to overwhelm with line. Okay? All right, guys, give it a try. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to help. But again, remember, is this a texture? I've gotten this turned into me before. So, it's a lovely little mountain scene, but is it a texture? No. Always zoom in nice and close, okay? So, don't do that.